Welcome to Car Sales Talk 101, where it's all about life in the car business. Telling you like it is. Here's the man with the plan, Terry Cameron. Let's get started.
Welcome back to Car Sales Talk 101. I'm Terry Cameron. One more time, guys, real quick. Hop on over to Apple Podcast. Give me a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-star rating, whatever it is. Write me a review. I appreciate all of your input. You can also find me on LinkedIn, and you can find me on Facebook. So if you have any questions, just let me know. Oh, by the way, you can email me at 10minutessalestalk@hot.rr.com. The people that have emailed me so far, I sure do appreciate your input, and it is nice to hear that maybe I might even be helping a few of you. This week, we're going to talk about this phenomenon called Smartphoneitis. Well, I don't know if it's really a phenomenon. It's just what I call it, Smartphoneitis. And that's the use of smartphones in the workplace today. Several months ago, I was at dinner with my wife, and I looked up and I noticed a table that had a family there. I'm going to guess there were 2 adults and 4 children. I think the oldest child might have been 14 or 15, the youngest one about 7. And I noticed how quiet it was at their table. As they were waiting for their server to bring their food, every single one of them had their face down in their smartphone. I mean, whatever happened to having conversations with your family during dinner? I know this would never, ever happen at my house. It just doesn't make sense. What is going on with our world? Now, I know I'm going to get some slack or flack from people over this, but man, smartphones, now they are great, but I really do believe they hinder everyday life with us, and especially at work. I did a little bit of research, and there's reasons to use the smartphone and social media during the day. In addition to using it for business, which really doesn't take much time of your day at all, it's a matter of using it to take a short break, from the day, and which can actually boost your productivity if you're actually using it for that. We have people that walk outside, go back to the dumpster, and smoke cigarettes during their breaks. So why can't we have people grab their cell phone and spend 10 minutes on social media taking a break? I don't see anything wrong with that. But when I look across the showroom, or I look across the restaurant, or wherever I might be, and I see everybody's head down, buried in their cell phone, it just seems to me that there's a change in how we communicate with each other. There's some other statistics I found. There's a recruiter called Agilon. They asked 2,000 people about their social media use at work. They found that 11% spent more than an hour on social media every day at work, outside of their breaks. Then they took the average hourly wage into account and determined that 1 hour per day adds up to $128 a week and $6,400 plus in lost productivity over the course of a year just by one employee. A further study by, I think it's Pew, P-E-W Research Center, found that staff use social media during work hours for many purposes. The top 4 reasons are to take a mental break from work, 34% of the people said that. To contact family and friends, 27% said they did that. To develop their professional network, 24%. And to help solve work problems, 20%. Also, this study also shows that where employees have an at-work social media policy, staff are 10% less to use social media for personal reasons while on the job, as well as 9% more likely to use social media to help solve work problems. So I don't get it. What did we do in the past? I'm trying to remember what I did when I was on the sales floor and at the desk, or whatever job I might have had at the dealership before smartphones. I think I called my customers. I think I prospected. I had a bad habit. I went out and took a smoke break every once in a while. Sure glad I broke that one. but I think we were a little bit more productive in the day. As a matter of fact, I believe my dealership might even be selling the same amount of cars as we did 15, 20 years ago. And that's because we spent more time developing our customer base and a following and getting referrals and repeat customers. Today, I don't know if we're doing it as well as we should. There's some other things about social media. I think I read where it's dangerously addictive. The more you use social media, the more you want to use it. I agree 100%. That's why I don't game. I remember back in the day, early on in the Madden football video games, where I sat on the edge of the bed when my family left for the day. And when they got back, I was still sitting there. I think I completed 4 complete seasons. Didn't realize just how long I've been there. It's addictive. It's really fun. It engages your brain, but it also takes you away from being productive. I didn't get anything done that day that I wanted to get done. And I heard it. I mean, the honeydews were there. My wife got home. I had to finish them. I found an article that talks more about different effects social media during the workday, the effects that it has. I just told you that it's addictive. It also says it poses a risk to your productivity at work. No duh. You risk losing your privacy at the workplace. And it is. It seems like everybody knows everything about everybody because of social media. I still like being a little bit private and letting people figure out who I am. It gives a breeding ground to feelings of jealousy. I can understand that. You morph into a pubescent attention seeker. Man, I hope not. Your general feelings of well-being may get adversely affected, and social media makes you psychologically unhealthy. It says people are addicted to social media that are addicted to social media tend to become more and more dependent on the activities in that virtual world for seeking gratification and validation. When I first started in our family's Facebook, I thought I was going to get carpal tunnel syndrome with trying to keep up with all the posts that were on there. And none of them were really what I needed to know, especially when they were younger generation people, nieces and nephews. I sure didn't need to know some of the things that they were saying and doing when I wasn't around. That scared me. There's a book, it's called, I believe it's called Selling 100 Cars by Ali Rita. Let me look it up here and see exactly what it's called. If you don't know who Ali Rita is, he is the one that broke Joe Girard's record for number of cars sold. That's what it is. Ali Rita, A-L-I-R-E-D-A. How to Sell 100 Cars a Month. I bought those books for my entire sales staff because after I read it, I thought this makes way too much sense. And if you want to up your game, you need to read it also. Again, Ali Rita, How to Sell 100 Cars a Month. And he talks about different bands of productivity or sales at the dealership. And the first band is what I would say 90% of salespeople are at, and that's the 0 to 20 cars a month band. And he tells you some of the things that you shouldn't do. You know, most of these selling books tell you what you should do, but he talks about what you shouldn't do if you're in that 0 to 20 cars a month band. I'm going to read this word for word because it just makes too much sense. Ali says, don't use social media for personal use. It's a complete distraction. Turn off your notifications and don't log on until you're home and relaxing. And limit your business use of social media to the few activities that actually do help you sell cars. Facebook and Instagram and all the rest take your mind off the game. He says you don't see professional baseball players reading Twitter while they're out in the outfield. They keep their mind in the present moment and focus on the job they are there to do. Leave your personal life out of your business. Practice being present and respect to everyone. That just makes too much sense. Not to mention, what if you're going to be looking for another job? Or what if you just met this girl that you're hoping is going to be your future wife, and they decide, their family decides to look you up, or your future boss decides to look you up on Facebook? What they see, is that something they want to hire? Or bring it a little bit closer to home, what about your customers? You want them to think you're professional and you're a fine, outstanding young man or young woman and somebody they want to do business with and send their friends and relatives to so you can help them out by selling them cars. What if they see some of the rude and crude stuff that you're talking about and doing on Facebook? Don't you think that'll change their perspective of you? Now, again, I know I'm going to get some flack off this, and I'm not saying don't use your cell phone and don't use social media. I'm just saying while you're at work, try to put the effort that you're using to find out what's going on this weekend with all your friends and the newest video and the YouTube videos. Try to put that effort into prospecting, into following up, and to doing something that could help you sell a car now or down the road a bit. If you want to be professional, you'll do it. And like Dave Anderson says, if it's important to you, you'll make time. If it's not important to you, you'll make excuses. Come on, let's be the pros we all want to be. You can do it. I know you can. Remember, the sky's the limit. I'll see you next week.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode. Please rate it and write a review on Apple Podcast. We appreciate your valuable feedback. You can email Terry at 10minutesalestalk@hot.rr.com. And don't forget to share the show with a friend.